even being able to meet people that are from Monterrey, that are from Mexico, and find them here and getting a small piece of that in the United States has been very comforting.
This is Nina Theriot Valdez. She is a junior international student and English major pursuing her full degree at University of St. Thomas in Houston. Her home country is Monterrey, Mexico.
I'm a graduate of the high school attached to the University of Monterrey. Academics, I feel like, are they're taken very seriously, and I was in an environment where people really wanted to grow in all areas of knowledge. It was very tough, but it did kind of shape me in a way that prepared me for college, and I could definitely say I would be having a much more different experience if I had not lived through that. Everything I bring here to the University of St. Thomas, I think, is something I bring over from back home. Every time I find myself having like a sort of eureka moment of like, oh wow, I remember doing this back home, or something from back home taught me how to do this here, how to perform well here. I can always trace it back to being from Monterrey at the end of the day. It's a great city. I grew up seeing my parents, work there, and they studied there, and they got married there, and to me, it will always be home. I'd say that as a city, it has a culture of its own, and there's definitely a lot of room for people like myself who were born and raised there to come here and to bring everything they have from home here. I miss just the people. I think I didn't even realize until I moved here how much I would miss that. Even being able to meet people that are from Monterrey, that are from Mexico, and find them here and getting a small piece of that in the United States has been very comforting. I was actually at the time enrolled in the University of Monterrey, college, like the actual university, and I was in film school, but the distance and doing things online kind of made me feel like I needed a change. I again, owe a lot to the University of Monterrey, but I felt like it was time for something different for me, and my path was taking me somewhere else. So I decided to look into community colleges in the United States and see what I could find. I eventually found my way to HCC and their system, and upon getting accepted, I just went through applying for my visa back home. A few months later, I was on the way to the US. After that, I actually did 2 years of community college in Houston Community College. And I eventually decided I would do English because it's a very versatile degree. Once I got to the US, there's lots of things that you can do with it apart from teaching, and not a lot of people know that. There's a lot of things that you can do in communication and journalism, and writing, publishing, etc. And I just thought it was a really good option for me because it opens up a lot of doors. So that's kind of where that switch came. It was based off of something that I already loved, which is writing. I've always felt very connected to writing, and it felt very natural for me to pursue something that I already feel is a very big part of my life. And I graduated with my associates in English. After that, I decided I'm gonna go and get my bachelor's. I had heard lots of great things about St. Thomas. Every teacher I ran into told me that St. Thomas is a school full of people who care about their students and want to help their students, and who care about international students in particular, very much so. And that was a very attractive thought to me. And I did more digging, and I just decided to apply. To me, I would just say, just do it. Just, make the to-do lists, talk to whoever you need to talk to, get on the phone, because once it's done, and you have the chance to be here. And I'm glad that I had to do the tedious little visa things to be here. It was all worth it in the end. Academically, it has been challenging in the best way. I appreciate being being a part of an institution that is very reading and writing focused. I think no matter what area of study you dedicate yourself to, you need to be able to communicate effectively, and St. Thomas knows that. I find that having that be a very big component of my classes makes it so much more digestible for me, especially if there's classes that I'm maybe not so interested in, but you have to take them to get your degree, knowing that It's reading and writing focused, actually makes things more entertaining for me, and it makes it easier for me to learn. I've met a lot of great professors so far. I only have good things to say. I'm a part of the honors program here, and that's kind of getting a little bit into what I was mentioning about it being challenging. But I think this is a school for driven people. I think it's a school for driven students, whether you're a domestic student or a foreign student or whoever you are, wherever you're from. And it's challenging nonetheless in the best way. I think there's an environment set up here for you to grow whichever way you may want to. There's so many things available to you academically, so many courses you can take, and the professors are so knowledgeable in what they're teaching. They genuinely care about what they're teaching. And once again, it makes the course challenging, but it's something that you know they love, something that you know they care about, and it's something that is important for you to know to become a professional in whatever area of study you're in. So I definitely feel like all my classes have a purpose. Whether it's my favorite class or not, I know it's gonna serve a larger purpose, and that keeps me very motivated academically. Socially, it has been challenging in not so good ways at certain points. And I think this is not the first time probably that somebody says this, but being an international student can be very lonely. There's this general feeling of just homesickness and feeling like you maybe don't fit in or you don't understand something that other people do. But I really saw the most growth when I decided to become involved in, the St. Thomas community. I have a job here and I've made so many connections through my job. Even in my job, I've met so many people that I know care about me and care about my growth and care about me as a person. And I've started diving into other extracurricular things like drama, and I've met so many amazing people and I've had such a good time. So the more I've branched out and the more I've, acknowledged the lonely feeling and try to move forward, I feel like I've grown socially here as well, and I'm at a point where I feel very comfortable here. I feel like I've always identified with the feeling of being driven, and just by the principle of like me wanting to be here, but it's really challenged that drive. It's tested that, and it's put me in positions where I had to learn to take care of myself and be responsible in ways that I hadn't experienced before. Right now, I see myself pursuing writing, pursuing acting, pursuing songwriting. That's something that I've always been a fan of ever since I was a kid. But I do see like a definite trajectory from that into starting to get involved in school back home, like in theater. Just seeking out opportunities for myself where I really got to practice what I enjoyed, even if it wasn't for a grade. And now that I'm in college, I find that I keep doing that. I keep searching for those opportunities because I do see myself doing these things forever. I do see myself just writing forever and singing forever and acting forever. I think those are things that they're just a part of me. I think there's been points of my life when I've been told that that's not convenient. I see myself as someone who in the future prioritizes love for the things that I do instead of convenience. To me, that's greater than anything. I think you need to pick something that you love, because when you do that, doors open up for you, and somewhere or the other, they just do.